It's true, AI is not going to kill your business, but somebody using AI is going to kill your business. A small team that is armed with lots of good AI tools that has a clear way of thinking is going to enter your industry, and they're going to produce so much more value in such a short space of time, and they're going to be really well known. They're going to be able to do a lot more for a lot less. They're going to be able to undercut you on price while delivering way more value because that small team is using AI. Now, here's the good news. It's not too late for you to be that person. It's not too late for your team to be that AI-enabled team. There's a good chance that if you're watching this video, you're already a small dynamic business. You're not some massive mega corporation with 10,000 employees. You're a small team, maybe 1 to 50 people. It's totally possible that you and your team could be the AI-enabled team that takes your industry by storm. So in order to do this, I want you to be focused on 3 key areas that you're going to use AI where it matters most. Now, the 3 key areas is speed to value, customer acquisition, and operational excellence. And if we can do those 3 things, and if we can start chipping away at these 3 areas, your business is going to take off and deliver way more value than others for a lot less cost. So let's get in and have a look at these 3 pillars. Now, like most business owners, you may be feeling a little bit overwhelmed with AI. You might be thinking there's so much to learn, there's so many different tools to keep track of. Every single week, the whole landscape seems to change. So I want to hit you with 3 principles, and you can just apply all the things you learn about AI just back to these 3 principles. We're not going to be focusing on the tools and technologies in this video. We are going to be focused on how to apply those tools and technologies most effectively. So let's start with an idea called speed to value. I want you to imagine that inside the mind of your customer, they have Steven Spielberg, and they have a full studio, and they have cameras and lighting and actors, and it's all ready to go in their mind. And what they do is they shoot a little movie about what they want life to look like. They've got a fantasy as to what life would look like if things were better than they are today. Let's say that your business helps people with construction projects. Right? Inside the mind of your customer is that beautiful moment where they walk through the door and the construction project is finished and everything looks stunning and it looks amazing, and it's got that fresh smell of paint and it's got new furniture and it's got amazing lighting, and they walk through and they go, oh, I love it. And their friends are there and their family's there and everyone says, wow, what an amazing construction project. Or let's imagine you're a consulting firm and you work with senior leaders. The movie that they have in their mind is a movie of a high-performing team who are getting things done, and they're presenting their numbers to the CEO, and the CEO is saying, wow, that's incredible. Look what you've achieved in the last 90 days. Or maybe your business is a cybersecurity consulting business and you help people to avoid the downfall or the risk associated with cyber threats. Maybe the movie they have in their mind is a negative movie where their bank accounts are drained and their email passwords are all hacked, everything's going badly. And maybe they're imagining that that happens to somebody else, but it doesn't happen to them because they had all the protections in place, right? So there's this movie that people have in their mind, right? I want you to consider that your customers have a movie that they've got in their mind. It's a way of imagining things. It's a desired outcome. And it's really emotional. It makes them feel good to think about the movie. It makes them feel excited to achieve that movie that they've got in their mind. Think about it like this to really connect with how important this is. Imagine something like a Ferrari. That Ferrari had some weird rule that you were allowed to buy a Ferrari, but only if you kept it in storage and never drove it. Now, straight away, you know that not many people would buy a Ferrari under those terms and conditions. And the reason they wouldn't buy a Ferrari is because they don't actually want to buy a Ferrari. What they want to do is they want to achieve the movie that they have in their mind associated with owning a Ferrari. So the movie that people have in their mind before they buy a Ferrari is that they're going to be driving along with their friend. There's going to be the noise of the Ferrari engine. There's going to be people noticing them, right, on the street and going, wow, that guy has a Ferrari. Maybe they're going to be driving really fast on a track. They've got all these movies in their mind about what Ferrari ownership would be like. And if you take away the ability to achieve that movie, then people don't actually want to buy the thing. Now, the reason I'm telling you this story is because the customer is not buying your product or service. They're buying access to be in the starring role of the movie that happens after they've bought your product and service. So your first job is to understand what is the movie that your customers are thinking about when they're buying from you. The more you can understand that movie, the more you can understand the concept of speed to value. So what is speed to value? Speed to value is the speed that your business can get people to that movie. It's the ability to deliver all the little components, all packaged up as fast as humanly possible so that someone can go from whatever their situation is today to the desired outcome as fast as possible. If it were possible, your customers would love to buy a magic wand that just magically transforms them, or if it were possible, they would take a magic pill and they would instantly be transformed into the starring role of the movie. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to freeze frame your customer's movie, and I want you to look around at all the elements. What is it that they're really trying to get to? There's elements of safety and security. There's elements of excitement. There's physical things that have changed in their environment. There's something that has happened to your customer, right? They feel a different way. They've gone from feeling nervous, anxious, frustrated to feeling relaxed, calm, excited, pleased, happy, right? So there's been some sort of emotional transformation. What we're really trying to do with speed to value is figure out how do we get that result better, faster, cheaper than you currently do. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to use AI to automate as much of that process as humanly possible. Let me share with you an example. Recently at ScoreApp, we figured out that it was taking about 90 minutes to a full day of effort in order to set up a scorecard marketing campaign. By the time someone had designed all the landing page elements, the questionnaire, the results page, and the marketing campaign around their scorecard campaign, it could often be the case that they had invested a full day into the setup. So what we've been doing is building an AI chatbot that asks people questions and then automatically creates all of that content for them. It builds a beautiful landing page, it creates all the questions, it creates the dynamic results page and the marketing materials, and it puts all of that together in minutes, not hours. So that's just one example of how we're using AI to achieve speed to value. We know that part of the movie that people have in their mind when they use ScoreApp is not about having a new piece of software. It's about having a steady stream of leads coming from a highly dynamic, powerful marketing campaign. People love the idea of attracting their perfect customers. They love the idea of understanding exactly what's making their customers buy. They love having access to the data that gives them X-ray vision into what people are thinking and what's driving their customer decisions, making their business better for the long term. So with all of that, the faster we can get people to those results using some AI tools, the better. It means that our product for less than $50 or $100 per month is delivering way more than it did a year ago. So here's a simple little activity for speed to value. The first thing is break the movie down to a few key elements. Right? Element number one is the current reality that your customer has. Element number two is the desired reality that your customer wants to achieve. That's the end state, the movie that they've got. Element number three is the obstacle that they face that stops them from getting their desired reality, right? So they're living in a current reality that's less than perfect. They've got a desired reality that would be amazing, but they've got obstacles that are getting in their way, stopping them from getting what they want, right? So think about that as part of the movie. Now think about this. Your product or service is going to move them from the current reality to the desired reality as fast as possible without hitting any of their obstacles. And you're going to be using AI to speed up every little step along the way. So an activity for you and for your team is to really get inside your mind of your customer. What is their current reality? What is their desired reality? What are their obstacles? And how do we use AI to speed up the journey, the path of least resistance from current reality to desired reality? So what you've started with is understanding your customer's world. Now here's how we're going to use AI to really speed things up. What we're going to do is break down the journey of the path of least resistance into a series of steps. And you're going to say, this is step one, this is step two, this is step three, right? So a series of steps to go from where they are now to where they want to be. And for every single one of these steps, we want to create what we call a prompt that helps that step to happen faster. Now we're going to put this all together and we're going to call that your prompt architecture for speed to value. So you might end up with 15 different prompts that help you go from where you are now to where you want to be. So let's just think about a few examples here. If you're a consultant, there might be a series of prompts that help you to completely understand the current situation, and it might be prompts that help you to analyze data. Then the next step might be a prompt for creating a step-by-step plan for that customer. Then there might be a series of prompts that you've created that help you to get step one done much faster and that help guide you and your team and your customer through the process, right? So we're creating a series of prompts that help us go from step one to step two, right through this arc of current reality to desired reality. Imagine you're a fitness trainer. We could have a series of prompts that create daily meal plans. We could have a series of prompts that create weekly workouts. We could have a series of prompts that create a mental visualization that helps people to stay on track. We could have a series of prompts that create a guided meditation that helps people every single day by putting them into the picture of their transformation. All of these things that might have been really difficult to do without AI, we can do those things super easy, and we can achieve speed to value faster if we've got a series of prompts that help us move through these steps better, faster, and cheaper. And it's really important to think outside the box here, right? So most fitness trainers, most personal trainers don't have a team of experts who can write meal plans and bespoke exercise plans and meditations and mindfulness and all that sort of stuff every single day. Because of AI, you do have the ability to provide this level of value to every single one of your clients, provided you sit down and think about the prompts and the series of prompts that you would use throughout your customer's transformation. So every business is in the business of transformation. From current reality to desired reality, you want to have your prompt architecture all mapped out that helps you to speed up that process. Just a quick interruption to this video. If you haven't set up a ScoreApp.com marketing campaign before, I want you to check out this 20-minute video where I go step by step how to set up the landing page and what goes on it, how to do the questions so that you can collect valuable data, and how to do a dynamic follow-up campaign using the tools in ScoreApp.com. It's super, super simple. And if you start with the 20-minute video, you'll know exactly what you're doing to get set up and start generating data-rich leads today. Now, back to the video. The next pillar that we want to use AI to improve is your customer acquisition. Now, for customer acquisition and most small businesses, I love to think in terms of LAPs: leads, appointments, presentations, and sales. So leads is all about getting customers to signal interest. Appointments is getting them to book into the diary to talk to you. Presentations is where you present them what you can do for them and you present them your solution or your offer. And sales is your ability to follow up and make a sale and actually get people to commit to starting the process. So in all of the businesses that I've launched, we've always had a LAPS dashboard: leads, appointments, presentations, and sales. Now, AI can help with every single one of these 4 steps. So with leads, we need lead generation campaigns. These could be online assessments, they could be online workshops, they could be discussion groups, could be people signaling that they want to join a waiting list. All of that can be set up on ScoreApp, and using our new AI tools, you can be setting up multiple lead generation campaigns on ScoreApp.com, and each lead generation campaign now takes you maybe minutes to hours, not hours to days. So if you wanted to generate a lot more leads, you could have 4 or 5 different lead generation campaigns that are all running at once, and all of them get customers to signal that they're interested in knowing more from your business. So we want to have at least a few different lead generation campaigns. Now, it wasn't that long ago that every single lead generation campaign required days or weeks worth of effort to set up landing pages and images and content and copy. And this all just happens at light speed now that we've got these AI tools built in. So lead generation campaigns is the first thing we're going to do to speed up customer acquisition. Appointments. So we want to use AI for appointment setting. Now, there's multiple tools that are coming onto the market, and this could be tools that actually call people directly using the phone. It could be messaging tools that do DMs or text messages using AI conversations. It can be scheduling tools where people get a link and the AI finds the right time, so their calendar syncs up with your calendar. So there's multiple tools that get the appointment setting phase done. We want to make sure that we're on the lookout for any tool that helps to speed up the appointment setting phase. There's a lot of research that says the faster you can get onto a lead and secure the appointment, the higher your conversions will be. So businesses that leave it hours to days before they follow up and set an appointment with customers, they lose conversions. Their conversion rates drop through the floor. People that follow up in minutes, their conversion rates go through the roof. So as soon as someone fills in that lead form, we want to have a process that's driven by AI to book that appointment into the diary so we can start talking to people at speed. The faster, the better. The next one is your presentation, your ability to present your value to your customer, present your offer, present the value proposition that your business has. Now, this is where AI can help you with slide creation. It can help you with creating content. It can help you with creating diagrams. It can help you to script a better presentation, right? Everything about communicating your value can be enhanced through AI. So what I want you to do is make sure that you're taking your value proposition and your offer and what you do and feeding as much information into ChatGPT as possible and get it to spit out scripts as to how you're going to present your value. AI can help you to create slides, brochures, landing page, video scripts. All of that helps you to present your offer to your customers. And it can also help you with different pricing. AI is excellent at coming up with different pricing plans, gold, silver, bronze versions, right? It can actually really help you to think outside the box as to what your offer is going to look like in the future. And then the final one is sales tools. We want to have an AI-enabled CRM system that's going to help with scheduling and following up and automating the whole process of reaching out to people and following up in the future. We want to make sure that we're investing in the right one that has a very natural feel to it. The good thing with ScoreApp.com is we've made it really simple for you to connect with all the other tools that do that. So ScoreApp.com easily connects with things like Pipedrive and with HubSpot and all the other tools that help you to follow up and make sales. And even if you're using something as simple as Google Sheets, we can also do that, and Google Sheets now has a lot of AI features built in as well. Now, I've been using the LAPS framework for over 20 years now. My very first business, we actually used 4 cardboard boxes. We had a leads box, an appointment box, a presentation box, and a sales box, and we just moved bits of paper through those boxes. Although the LAPS framework hasn't changed in 20 years, what has changed is the speed that we can move people through the LAPS framework. So using the AI tools, rather than it taking a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks for people to go from a lead to an appointment to a presentation to a sale, it can take literally hours or even minutes to go from a lead to a sale if we're using AI effectively. And of course, the other thing is that it used to be very, very labor intensive to take people through the LAPS framework. We used to have a small army of appointment setters, and we used to have a small army of people who used to follow up with sales calls weeks or months later. And now all of that is completely automated using really great AI tools that are powered by language models. Okay, the final pillar is operational excellence. And there's a few things that I want to highlight here. Number one, I want you to really start thinking about what's called your tech stack. Your tech stack is the tools and technologies that your business runs on. Now, isn't it funny that when we hire someone, we might be hiring someone who's on $3,000 or $4,000 a month. We will look at 20 or 30 different resumes. We might have 10, 15 different interviews. We might do a massive onboarding process in the first 30 days and then a 90-day review process. It's incredibly time consuming and expensive to bring on a human being into our business. And if we use a recruitment firm, it might cost as much as 20% of that person's wage just to find the right candidate. But we don't apply the same thinking to the technology that we use, because a lot of people say, oh, well, I didn't get that technology set up in the first 10 minutes, so I guess I'm not going to use that technology, even though the technology is game changing. Now, the funny thing with the technology is often if you get your tech stack right, 5 or 10 pieces of technology, which might cost maybe $30 to $50 per technology per month each, could save you $5,000 to $10,000 a month in labor if you just simply onboard that technology correctly. So we need to apply the right mindset to putting technology in place. Now, rather than recruitment fees, you might get an IT service provider to help you to set up that technology correctly in the first place. Rather than a 30-day onboarding program for a new employee, you might have a 30-day training program for your existing team to train them on these technologies. Rather than having a 90-day review process with one person, you might have a 90-day review process with your existing team to make sure that they're using the technologies correctly and that you're getting the value from it. Rather than spending $3,000 to $5,000 per person per month on one employee, you might spend $500 a month on having 10 technologies that help run your business way more effectively. We want to put as much time, energy, and effort into the tech stack as we would onboarding new employees. And if we have that same mindset with onboarding technology as we would with onboarding new employees, we end up with great technology that lasts for many, many years, that is doing great value, that's making your team highly effective, and allows you to bring on board the right people, but only in the value-added roles that really, really move the needle for your business. Tech stack is really important, and we want to do a lot of reviews. Now, one of the things that I want you to do is ask ChatGPT what are the different technologies that it would recommend for your type of business. So tell ChatGPT what type of business you've got and say, list out the 10 software technologies that would help me to generate leads, that would help me to run a better business, that would help me with my finances, that would help me with my standard operating procedures, right? Get ChatGPT to start recommending the latest technologies that would help automate your business. The next thing that you can be doing is standard operating procedures. It used to take days, weeks, or even years for a business to put together its standard operating procedures. These can be put together in minutes if you're using ChatGPT to produce standard operating procedures. The next one is contracts. Used to be extremely expensive to talk to lawyers to firm up your contracts. ChatGPT and other AI tools can help you with putting those contracts in place. Finding new suppliers. right? In the same way that ChatGPT can help you to find the right technology, it can also help you to find local suppliers who can come in and implement the technology. Recently, I've been asking AI tools to provide local suppliers who can come to my office and provide training or services to get things set up, because there's certain roles that I need for local support. Believe it or not, AI has an amazing understanding of who's local. And of course, customer success or customer support, AI is absolutely brilliant at helping to answer customer questions and acting as a co-pilot to make sure that your customers are getting all the value that they signed up for. So these are the list of things that I'm using AI for operational excellence. Now, when it comes to contracts, I'm using AI to do all the first drafting of contracts, and then we get to that like 80% mark, and then it goes to a lawyer to sign off and actually put the finishing touches on, and that saves me a fortune when it comes to legal. I'm not replacing legal with AI, but I'm using it to do the first 80%. So there is not going to be a fully autonomous AI developed business that takes over your industry, but there are going to be businesses that are AI enabled. Your business hopefully is going to be one of those, and those are the businesses that are going to thrive in the coming years. I want you to be thinking about making sure that you can achieve more speed to value, more customer acquisition, and more operational excellence by using AI. Think about the prompts that are going to help you every step of the way. Think about the tools and technologies that you can bring into your business that are going to help you with those three things. Maybe you want to block out a morning and you want to have a morning where you explore with you and your team, how do we do speed to value using AI? How do we do customer acquisition using AI? How do we do operational excellence using AI? And if you can get breakthroughs in those three areas, you're going to be way ahead of your competition. There's an old story about two guys who are out in the jungle and they hear a bear, and one of them puts on his running shoes and the other one says, "You're never going to be able to outrun a bear." And he says, "I don't need to outrun a bear, I just need to outrun you." I know it's a silly story, but it makes a great point. You don't have to outrun AI, but you do have to be one of those companies that's using AI, that's putting on your shoes, that's doing up your laces, so that you can be in the top 5, 10, 15% of companies in your industry that are using AI for speed to value, customer acquisition, and operational excellence, and that you're not completely left behind. Now, a great place to start with all of this is ScoreApp.com. You're on the ScoreApp channel. One of the reasons that we're sharing these ideas with you is because a lot of this is just built into our tools. We're using AI all the time and we're upgrading our AI tools as we speak. So check out ScoreApp.com, log into the portal and check out some of the new ways that AI is making it easier to set up those marketing campaigns on ScoreApp.com. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, give it a like, give it a subscribe, do the YouTube dance, and I'll see you next time.